Laura just asked a great question about what are the best antifungals. And for anyone on a mold journey, you're eventually going to have to pick out some antifungals, assuming you have fungal colonization, which most people do. Some people just end up accumulating mycotoxins, and maybe you're just going after binding those, but usually with enough exposure, you end up growing fungus in your body. You can get fungal colonization in the sinuses, and then when you swallow, it goes down to the gut. Some people end up with it in the lungs. That is the least fun one to deal with, but the most common is in the gut. And we can measure this with your organic acid test, and that's where, but it only measures two. It's only looking at aspergillus and fusarium. So, and there could be many others that are colonizing. They just don't have testing for it yet. So what are the best antifungals? And remember, you don't start with these, okay? You do all the foundational work first. You're slightly binding, and then when your body starts getting stabilized, then you go after the fungals, because that can be too much too fast. So number one for working on fungus for mold in the body is the mold frequency. And yes, I know that's kind of blurry. I'll try to remember to put a link to this. So the mold frequency works like a homeopathic. So it's distilled water, or I shouldn't say distilled water, some sort of purified water, could be distilled water, and alcohol. And you're going to succuss it on your hand 3 to 5 times. This is an empty bottle, okay? I wouldn't be holding it at my screen if it had the frequency in. And then you get this tiny dropper. You put 5 drops under the tongue, morning and night. If you have any herxing or reactions, let me know. Some people, usually they're fine with the mold one. Is the Lyme frequency that sometimes we get a little bit of herxing, and we have to titrate back a little bit. We don't stop it. We just go back a little bit in drops because too much is happening too fast. But for mold, this again is a handmade frequency remedy. It's targeting the Hertz Me 2 molds plus more. It's also covering some aspergillus species, some fusarium, some Stachychaetomium, Wallemia, Penicillioides, or a couple of the aspergillus, also Epicoccum, and I think there might be a couple more in there. So this is the most powerful tool, and it's also the most gentle tool. So this goes in and tells the body, hey, go after these molds, start clearing them out in the body. Okay, so that's a great tool, especially great for kids because it's not strong herbs or anything. Then you have your individual herbs. You have basil and thyme and tea tree. You have all kinds of antifungal herbs that you can look up individually. Those essential oils. I don't recommend taking I'm not telling you to take essential oils internally. Some people do, but they're very strong oils that you can take. But you can get those same herbs in capsules and tinctures. So for example, Cellcore, I love Cellcore, and yes, this bottle's got a little dented somehow. Para 2, you'll find there's a lot of crossover between anti-parasite and antifungal herbs, which is great because you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Yep, I'm going over my time. But this has Vedanga and Neem. Neem is a big one. Neem is a big, good antifungal, and that's in Para 2. I also love Cellcore's IS Boost. With IS is for immune system, but when you look at this, you've got black walnut hull, which is again anti-parasite, antimicrobial, antifungal. It's got some knotweed, but then we've got it's got clove, which is antifungal. It's got thyme leaf, which is antifungal. So this is a great tincture if you can tolerate an alcohol-based tincture. I'll also use pulse in biocidin with some clients. And we just shipped out the last couple bottles of that yesterday. So I don't have any biocidin to show you, but the liposomal biocidin, and I'll put a link to that, is also great because it's one of the best antimicrobial, antifungal, antiparasite herbal complexes in liposomal format. So that's extremely powerful. But remember, this isn't step 1. But when you get to antifungals, definitely like this the best because it's gentle but powerful. But then we also have Para 4 as well as an option. But I would go with Para 2 first, IS Boost, and biocidin. And again, you're not going to do them all. You're going to pulse. You know, you do up to 90 days on a single complex, but you're not going to run it more than that. You're going to be rotating and pulsing different things, okay? Again, if you need one-on-one help, I jump on Zoom with people and help people around the world via telehealth and Zoom if you need any help going through that. But anyway, I hope that helps, Laura. That gives you an idea of some of the antifungal tools I use with clients. And you can pick any of those up if you're at that step of your protocol.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.